Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeCharis, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Bethpage, Long Island, New York, for another amazing episode of How to Win at Business. And again, once in a long line of past and future uh, videos, trainings, whatever you want to call them, we're going to be talking about the machine, the monster, the beast, the IRS, and it's not just them, folks. It's interruptions on my cell phone. You would know, think that I'd know more to disable it before I do these right now. It's only been a couple of years, hundreds, possibly thousands of live videos I've been doing. And with that in mind, if you're watching live, please give me a hashtag live. If you're watching a replay, give me a hashtag replay, because what that does is it gives you a chance to follow any questions and comments. And if you have a comment, please post it in the chat. I'm getting better at this. If you have a live comment, if you would just want to say hello, put it in the chat. I'll acknowledge you. I don't always get to see who you are because it just says like Facebook user. So let's interact. If you have any questions, I love to answer questions. If any of this resonates with you, whether you're watching live or the replay, feel free to schedule a free chat with me. Go to Time with Joe. I've also included in the chat a link to our growing YouTube channel. We have, plenty of subscribers. We'd like to grow that. We'd like to, get the message out there that you don't have to do this alone. Running a business is not an easy proposition. And when you first start out, usually we're alone. We're all by ourselves. We can be isolated, and that's not a good place to be, especially when you're running a business. So we are a community. We're in a community of entrepreneurs, and if you'd like to join that, let me introduce you to Mastermind with Joe, which is a weekly mastermind group. It's still free. It's open to the public. We A lot of our clients come on a weekly basis. It's not going to be free forever, so I urge you to join. We play games, we give away prizes, and most of all, we share our knowledge and our experience with each other, because nobody knows everything, including me. But there are a few things that I know, and I know the IRS, and part of learning how to deal with the enemy is knowing your enemy. I've learned that. There's a book I followed, a philosophy called The Art of War. And sometimes it's almost like we're in a war, folks. And I'm going to get rid of the graphic that I'm going to share with you here. Sometimes it does feel like you're in a war, because that's what it seems like. And the truth is that the more that you can know about the IRS, how it works, what their mission is, I believe the easier it's going to be for you to deal with this monstrosity. And they are a monstrosity. And at some point, I've heard a lot of people saying that we got to do away with them. And, that's not feasible. Okay, that's really not feasible. Getting rid of the IRS is like, I don't know what it's like, but it's just not going to happen. What we need, what we need is a new IRS. We need a new approach. We need an IRS that is business friendly, that they're not out to sink us, to make things difficult. But the way the system is right now is, if you're a new business owner, if you're a small business, it's impossible to keep up with all the rules, regulations. Steve Forbes said, basically, if you're a business owner, you're probably committing felonies on a regular basis. Not knowingly, but if you look at all of the different rules and regulations, from payroll compliance rules, employee versus independent contractor, uh, it's hard to do business. And it's almost impossible to do it on your own. You need to surround yourself with people that know. And another impediment, another obstacle is the cost of surrounding yourself with people that are in the know. And that's why we have developed systems, procedures, communities to help overcome those issues. So, for instance, every month we have a free workshop, and we're probably going to be doing more free workshops. And this month, our workshop is how to protect yourself and your family and your business against the IRS. And again, I call it the machine, folks. It's not just the IRS. The IRS is a main culprit, but it's the insurance companies, it's the banks, it's everyone that has all of these policies and procedures to make it difficult for small businesses. And I've been doing this for a long time. If you know my story, I became a CPA not because I wanted to be an accountant, because I wanted to run a business. And before I started my accounting career, the semester before I graduated, I leased an ice cream truck, and my intention was to run it like a business. I had done this the year before, but it was more like Cheech and Chong's nice dreams, if you get what I mean. It was a fun business. My friends drove with me on the truck all the time, made money, but it wasn't really a business. Well, this last time I said, I'm going to prove to the world that I am a premier entrepreneur. And let me get rid of this other banner. I can't. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm learning. Anyway, I ran the ice cream truck. I kept inventory. I kept track of the weather, my mileage, profit and loss, and I made money. And I said, I'm in. I'm in. I'm successful. I proved that I know how to run a business. Only to get into my accounting career and get a notice from New York State 6 months later with a big red stamp on it that said tax warrant. And I thought my career and my life was over. They didn't have the internet. I didn't have access. I thought I had to hire an attorney. I had no idea what I might have done. And luckily, after 3 days of restless, sleepless days and nights, I drummed up the courage to ask one of the CPAs in the firm because I was embarrassed. I said, how did I do this? How did I get into so much trouble? And it turned out that, well, they gave me great advice. They said, why don't you try calling the number on the notice? So I did. And basically what they said was, oh, you were a seasonal business. All you need to do is file a return, because I had registered as a sales tax vendor without knowing it. I just signed all the forms and mailed them in that I was told to by the ice cream truck company. And I wanted to make sure I was legit. And I actually, filed a tax return that first. I was so proud of myself. I was a sole proprietor, filed a Schedule C, and I had arrived until I got that letter. And it turned out that all I had to do was send in some paperwork, a final return that marked, there was no sales tax on ice cream. I don't even know why I had to register, but that's what they made me do. And luckily, I got out of it, and I didn't have to do any jail time. I was able to, go forward with my CPA license. But I always use that incident as a reminder, because I knew what it felt like to be a small business owner. I realized that day that I got the letter that it wasn't easy. This wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and there were other forces at work. It wasn't as simple as going into business. I had to account to other people. When I went into this, I thought it was just the IRS. I said, oh, as long as I file my tax. I didn't know about the New York State Tax Department. I didn't know about payroll taxes. I didn't know, that the IRS's mission is to enforce the tax code and to collect money from us. I thought it was just a place where you file your return. You paid what you owed and you went along with your business. No, it has become a major, major impediment to anybody starting a new business, especially if you get into the business and you're like, okay, you ask a simple question like, how do I pay people? Well, now there's this whole huge controversy, and it's not new. It's not actually new. It's about independent contractors versus employees. Okay. And if you're new to business, you've never ran a payroll, you don't know what this stuff is, and you don't know what the repercussions are, and they're serious. So in light of that, without getting into specific details, what I want to start to do is continue my how do I do this? Not remove. You want to add. Okay. We don't want to remove this. There we go. Okay. So the first objective is to know your enemy, and we're going to treat the IRS as an enemy because that's what they've they've waged war on us, on the small business owner. Large business owners don't have a problem. They can afford attorneys, accountants to make sure that they're in compliance. It's part of their budget, but we're talking about the small guy, the guy just making ends meet. There's almost 30 million businesses in the United States, and over 25 million of them are still classified as sole proprietors, which is a problem. And if you want to learn what the problem is, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can read my itty bitty s-corp book. There's a lot of problems with being a sole proprietor when you're in business. Uh, we will cover that in another training, but for now, let's go through some of the resources in the IRS site. And I've done this a number of times. I just want to, keep honing in on how we can utilize the resources that the IRS has given us for free. Okay, it's like the enemy letting us in on their plans, if you will. Okay, and the truth is that all of this is public knowledge. We already know that the IRS is going to be hiring over 80,000 new employees whose sole job is going to be to enforce the tax law, collect money, and basically make it more miserable, more harder, if that's a word, more harder, or harder, more difficult for us, the small business owner. So if you go to irs.gov, one of the things that you need to do is you need to, in the top right hand column, it says sign into your account. Now, if you don't have an account, you need to have an account, and I'll tell you why. This is going to it's like having your credit report. It's going to give you all the information that the IRS has on you. And I'm going to show you how in another slide. Uh, you can actually file your return for free. I recommend this for people in certain situations that just can't afford to go to a professional. You're better off having a guided process, and we will cover that again in another training. You can make a payment on the IRS. People that owe the money, if you're doing estimated tax payments or an installment agreement, you can actually go on the IRS and make an electronic payment. You do not want to be dealing with paper anymore. Number one, the IRS doesn't like it. Number two, you can't even rely on the post office anymore to make sure that it gets there. And even if it gets there, you don't even know if they're going to open it anymore. I mean, it's become a real issue. Okay. So, again, over here on the left hand side, what do they have? You can get your refund status, which is kind of a joke because last year, if you were one of those people, the system broke down. My aunt, uh, who only got her refund, her 2020 refund last month, when she went on there just for kicks, and it still says processing. It's been saying processing since last February when we filed an amended return for her. She had to go to the point where she got her congressman involved. So that's not a good thing. So you could try this. I don't know if it's working. There's also this PIN identification number, which has become another huge impediment. It was designed to help people avoid identity theft. The IRS, just like every other entity, banks, credit cards, there's your refunds are subject to uh, interception, let's call it, from criminal enterprises. They can circumvent your tax refund. So the IRS came up with this PIN number. All it's done is make it harder for people to actually file their returns, because if you don't have your PIN number, you're supposed to get in touch with the IRS and retrieve your PIN number. Well, guess what? The PIN number has been down. It doesn't work, just like to get your refund status. So, the first rule of thumb when dealing with the IRS and their website and their technology is to expect it not to work. Okay? Expect it not to work, unfortunately, because from my experience so far, it's down more than it's up. And then when it is up, you can't even rely on it. So, quick story. This is a true story. My aunt, who actually worked at the IRS for 20 years, I told her yesterday I went to pick up her tax info, and she went to create her own account. I'm just telling you because so that you're not going to get perturbed at me. They wanted a photo ID. She had to upload her and her husband's driver's license. And I got an email from her last night saying that they rejected her driver's license. So, they want you to set up your own account, but they're going to make it difficult for you. And all I could say is you got to be persistent. You got to be tenacious and just keep trying. Okay. It's not good. It's not going to get any better, not the way I see it. So the only thing, you got to try everything under the sun that you try with any other kind of technology, which is change browsers, clear out your cookies, go to an incognito browser. All the things that I've tried, because I've had the same kind of problems as anyone else. Okay, I have my own account. You know, I don't look forward to it when I got to log in, because who knows if it's going to be up. But once you get in there, you can get things like, yeah, let's look at the other page. Uh, Here's a couple of other thing. Oh, yeah, and I've been saying this. You want to go on and find out what they have for your recovery rebate credit. According to the IRS, they've sent out all the rebates. So if you didn't get one, there's a problem. Okay, and you want to be able to find out what they're saying that you got, and then you'll have an opportunity on your 2021 return to claim whatever they haven't given you. Your child tax credit, if you've gotten an advance credit, they should have sent you a letter. Whether they sent you the letter or not, I advise you to go online again and verify that the amount on the letter is what they're saying online. And when you file your return, unfortunately, you're going to have to enter the amount that they're saying that you got, even if it's wrong. Uh, Unless you want to try to fix it, and they give you remedies to try to fix it. Uh, but if you don't put down the number that they have, it's going to delay your refund. Okay, so if you want to get your refund as quickly as possible, you just match what the IRS has, and then you can file an amended return and pray that they process it. Okay, so let's see what else we have on here. What's on your online account? You could access your tax records. Okay, this is important. You want to see what do they have on you. Just like I said, just like your credit report, you can make and view payments. So I have a client. He told me yesterday he paid off. He owed them $1,200. He made the payment. Now they're still saying that he owes $50. And I said, well, go in here, and what you can do is, let me see, view your, okay. So, and I'm going to change subjects now, but you can view your balance. If you owe money, you can make a payment plan. Okay, if you owe more than 10,000, you might want a professional to do it, but if you owe less, you can do it quickly and easily on their website. This is important because a lot of people have given me what we call power of attorneys. Now, a power of attorney gives me the authorization to talk to the IRS on their behalf. Now, either the issue has been resolved or the client is no longer a client for one reason or another. So what you want to do is see who has authorization on your account and remove them. Okay. Now let's see. They do talk about your tax transcript down here. Request a tax transcript, but I think it's in this one. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so again, access. Now this is all from the IRS site, so I'm not making this stuff up. Uh, so you want to request your tax transcripts however far back as you can go, and all the information on how to get your tax transcript is on the site, and that's it on that. So this gives you some ammunition in your battle against the IRS, and it is a battle. I can make it easier for you. I can make it simple. I have a series of videos on these topics on how to deal with the IRS. Uh, I recommend that if you have any questions, again, you can book a chat with me. Let's see where it is. All you got to do is go to timewithjoe.com. I highly recommend that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I just put a link in here for that. Every time there's a video uploaded, you will get a notification. And last but not least, if you go to my website, bedrockbusinessbuilders.com, you will find more information on what we do for small businesses and individuals, and also tap into our tools and resources, find out when our events are. If you want to book me to speak to a group uh, or at an event, you can do so from my site. And that's my story for now. It's still evolving. I'm sticking with it. God bless. Come back again, and we'll see you shortly.